I look at your career, it's just absolutely amazing. 20 years to play at that level and so consistent. I think 71,838 passing yards, 508 touchdowns. It's been a Hall of Fame career for you, and that's right around the corner, I know. But when you look back on it, what do you miss the most now that you've been out a couple years?
What I miss most is what guys like Reggie White had told me after he retired. It's probably something you would probably think the least of as you're playing. You think you would miss the games or plays or, something related directly to the game itself. But what I miss is, the camaraderie that you had, the, believe it or not, bus rides or planes, just funny things that seem to happen. Yeah, do I miss playing in that competition? You can never get that back. I understand that, and I so appreciate it. We're so blessed. But what I miss is the guys and the camaraderie that you had with them. And for me, 20 years, you can imagine there's a lot of guys and a lot of history there. And so that's what I miss most. Sitting in a you know what I'm talking about, Rich, TV timeout, sitting in the huddle and, cracking jokes or telling stories or something. Just those moments that you would think of the least.
Brett, we talked yesterday about you for a little while, and I said I think you were largely misunderstood at the end because a lot of people thought your desire to continue to play was driven by ego, and I'm sure you knew that there was a reaction from the public out there every time they thought is retirement coming back. And my response was, I just think you like to play, and does that validate in your mind why you struggled so hard to walk away from the game, what you just told us?
Oh, you're so right. Really it's simple. I love to play. The stress of playing at a high level, the stress of the expectations not only that other people had put on me, but that I had put on myself, and almost so much that nearly impossible to live up to. I don't consider it really a negative, but that's kind of the downside of success. Not only you, but other people expect you to play that way each and every week. And as you know, you have to do that in practice, you have to do that in meetings, and all that had become, arduous, if you will, the meetings and practices and things like that. But I understand, physically it had taken its toll, but I still was okay. It was really the mental side of it. If you could just show up and play, still play at a high level, that'd be great. I mean, there'd be a lot more guys doing it for a long time, but you have to do all the other stuff that goes along with it. And so I was weighing back and forth. Sure, a huge part of me was like, yeah, I want to go out there and compete and take on this team. But then I said, well, you got to do all the other stuff that goes along with it. And so that's what I was wrestling with. It had nothing to do with ego.
I can only imagine you have very, very few regrets when you look at all that you accomplished during your career. But with that being said, what is your biggest regret?
I had a wonderful, great, long career in Green Bay. That can never be taken away, and I'm very proud of that. Had you told me 14th year that I was going to be playing for the Vikings or the Jets, I would have said you're crazy. I can't say that I have regrets, really, for anything in my career. As I look back, it is what it is. It happened the way it happened for a reason, not only changing teams, but the way I played. I had to accept taking the good with the bad. Can I sit here and say, I wish I'd won that game, sure. But as I look back, I'm very proud of my career and the way I played and approached it. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But it was the best I could do.
But as you look back and you made the decision to continue to play through the age of 41, did you think that maybe it wasn't the right thing to come back for that one more year?
This is what I tell people. There's never one that I'm more sure about making the right decision than the last season. Was it a good season? Absolutely not. But I know this, and I think we all can agree. Had I not gone back and played that second year, not only would you guys periodically be talking about it, but other people would be saying to me, well, had you gone back, y'all would have won it. Y'all were so close the previous year. And, of course, then I would have thought, maybe they're right. We know now that's not the case. It wasn't meant to be. I'll never have that, doubt in the back of my mind that I made the wrong decision.
Brett, Rich asked you about, the last year in Green Bay. You expressed no regret. Does it bother you that with all you gave that city, a Super Bowl championship, and all those years and all those starts, that things came to an end the way they did, and really you had to, kind of make up with the organization to come back there?
Things are much better. I haven't been back to Green Bay since we actually played there, but in my opinion, things are much better. Time heals a lot of things. And I think in this case that, when you're playing for the rival team, things are going to change. There's no better history than there is in Green Bay and tradition, and people love their team there, and they usually hate the other team. So when you join the opponent, that's going to happen. Again, time has healed a lot of things. In fact, I had planned on going up to a game in the latter part of the season last year, but my high school team played it into December, and it just was a conflict. The relationship is much better. It's going to happen. I'll be back up there, career in Green Bay. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was awesome. The people are awesome. I think everything's going to be fine, and in my opinion, it is now.
Brett, don't you think, though, the sooner the better, though? I mean, what is the relationship like now with, again, there's not a lot of players left.
Well, we're trying to set up. We're trying to figure out what game we're going to come up to in contact with Mark Murphy and Ted. Honestly, I don't want to push anything. I don't want it to come across as me ever trying to get my foot back in the door, because that's not the case. But I just feel like you'll know when the time is right. And so we have had communication. Not that it's really anybody else's business. And I say that with all due respect, because I know it's been a tender subject. Tremendous amount of respect for Green Bay. And it's not about me. It's not necessarily about them. It's about the fans. And respect, mutual respect all the way around. And so when the time's right, they have things to do. They have a season to play. They have to get ready. And so I don't want to be a distraction for them.
Brett, how weird was it? You go back to that 2009 season, you're with the Vikings, that first game back at Lambeau. I imagine you must have been nervous. First of all, just even coming out of the tunnel, you didn't know what the reception was going to be like from the Packer fans, playing against your former team, your former teammates, looking across the field, seeing Aaron, Mike McCarthy, guys that you grew very close to. That must have been about the most unusual thing you ever experienced in your 20-year career.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I never envisioned that would happen. I never envisioned coming out of the visitors' locker room or traveling from Appleton to Green Bay on game day on a bus as an opponent. It never crossed my mind. But it was an awesome experience, and I say that because I got to see it from the other end and what, the other team got to, it's a tough environment, but it's such an awesome environment. And to experience it from both sides, it's always much better from the home side, but it was just a tremendous experience. But it gave me goosebumps. It's a special place. I don't know what else to say.
Did you know which locker room to go to when you went back?
At that time, I was well aware of which one I needed to go to.
Talking with Brett Favre, who's teamed up with Score, SQOR. You can check them out online, score.com, a place to go collect all your favorite athletes and their social media in one place. Again, SQOR.com. Brett, not only the relationship with the organization itself, and, I'm sure that you don't love talking about this, but, a lot was made of whether or not there was a conflict with you and their current quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Was there, and what is the relationship like if there is one now?
Well, there was never a conflict, not that I know of. Again, I had a great career. I'm no idiot. I know that there's always someone who's going to replace you. And the fact that he was drafted in the first line, and it was time for him to give him a shot, And so when I did retire, he became that guy. I understand that. And so I have no ill feelings or animosity towards Aaron. In fact, I thought we got along well, and we watched tons of film together. I offered him whatever I could, to help him along the way. We all know how good of a player Aaron is, and I'll be the first to say it. The guy's a tremendous player. Should have a great, long career, barring injury. I can't speak for Aaron, but do we talk all the time? No, we don't. Do I talk to most guys I play with? No, I don't. But I got a tremendous amount of respect for him, and I'm not surprised a bit about the ways he's playing.
Let me ask you about one guy playing today who doesn't mind the spotlight, and that's Johnny Manziel. I saw your comments about him some time ago that you did like him. What is it about him, who's obviously a very popular figure right now in the NFL? What is it that you like about his game?
I don't know what kind of guy he is, but I just think he's a tremendous athlete. He's entertaining, and that's what this is. It's an entertaining game. And so, I just think that people can't help but watch it.
and you just never know what he's going to do next. And he's ultra competitive. That's what I like about him, is that never say die attitude. I love about him.